So I was just recommending some programs that can supplement the things you do with Adobe products. Adobe Illustrator has AI in it. Photoshop has AI in it. Firefly has AI in it. What is another one? Adobe Express. I think that's the name of it. I think I've done a training on that one. So that's multiple programs, and then obviously you got After Effects have AI in it, right? You could extend
Yeah.
frames. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, Premiere Pro, you can like extend your shot.
Right. So there's a lot of the Adobe stuff that have AI built in, but there's other programs that can do AI as well. I have a program called Media Place that allows you to do a whole host of stuff. And then another program called Create Studio. And I think it's made by the same company. And they do a really good job. But you may want to look them up. It's a really good program. In fact, let's see. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, let me share my screen just a minute. Um, Share. And I think it's
If you don't mind, Cornelius, let me just formally start the meeting by
okay.
saying that this is the start of the monthly pre-meeting of the Austin Adobe User Group, where we have experts present on various applications offered by Adobe, and we welcome other presenters. We have a website at Austin Adobe User Group, and this meeting will last roughly an hour. And right now we're just chit-chatting about AI and various Adobe products. So Cornelius Chopin and John Merrifield and I are the co-managers of the group, and a recording of this meeting will be put on our website in the next couple of days. So Cornelius, please
Can you guys see my
show
screen?
us
Because I'm seeing
what
this
you.
Zoom.
We're
Yeah, we
seeing your
see
screen,
Zoom.
and we're seeing the Zoom window.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking at. Let me see what I can do. That's not it. Okay.
And I forgot, Teresa, what do you, am I saying your name properly?
That's very close, Sharissa.
Teresa, okay. Do you, what do you do for,
Graphic design, web development. I love the video editing, so I'm always eager to try to watch what you guys are doing. I have a few that I need to go back and catch up on. But mostly like Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign.
okay.
But now
Uh,
everybody wants stuff in Canva so they can edit it easily. So now I have Canva too.
right.
Where are you based? Are you near Austin or
Yeah,
elsewhere?
I'm in Pflugerville.
Oh,
Ah,
you're not too
great.
far from me. I'm in
Yeah.
Round Rock.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
And
that
Carl,
reminds me, oh, sorry.
we have a new guest. Carl, can you unmute and introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'll show my face for a minute too. I'm still kind of working while we do this. So oh, if it'll let me. Yeah, it did. Okay. Yeah, so I'm Carl Blumel. I came to a lot of these
Trying
meetings
to
when
get
they
out
were
of
in
this.
person before I guess before
Sorry about
and
that.
Oh, right.
I
Like at the
do
Horizon Center.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do graphic design. I'm kind of the graphic design team for a software company. I do a little bit of everything. So web, brochure, video edit. I mean, you kind of name it. I do it all because I am the team. So
Great.
Right. Yeah.
it's a good job to have. I don't have to fire anybody, just
Uh,
me.
yeah. There's one thing I hate though, that a lot of companies will do this. They're like, well, we have, a lot of things, there's especially in the video world, it's an assembly line because there's so many things that have to be done. And the video editing is just part of it. And there's the audio and there's the graphics and all that stuff. And it's an assembly line, but they think just one person can run down the assembly line. It's like, have you ever seen a movie? There's more than one credit. There's
Yeah.
there's a reason why there's 200 credits in there.
Yeah. All my
Uh,
stuff's very simple. It's mainly
mm,
meeting edits and cleaning up some stuff, maybe some simple more
uh,
ad related video kind of things. And if we get to like big heavy hitting stuff, then we usually work with outside vendors on that. So
Oh, right.
I get to do the small short ones that are really just simple information related.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so it's nothing super high quality. It just needs to be clean and informative and that kind
Right.
of stuff. So I would say 90 or well 80% of my job is our website and supporting our social media efforts
Mm.
and web ads too. So
Is there a social media team too, or is it all
yeah,
just
we
you?
have
Oh.
we have the marketing team itself is probably about 20 people, and we've got 2 or 3 writers, and we've got a couple people that focus on our social media. And we have a small team of, I guess, 3 people that focus on a lot of our digital presence when it comes to web ads and creating specific landing pages and those kind of things.
Mm.
And then
That seems like a lot of people, like a
it is.
big company.
Yeah, the parent company itself, I think, is closer to 5,000 people. We're one of the
Oh,
businesses underneath that company.
Hmm.
So the parent company is PTC, and then we are Arena. So we do software as a solution. It's primarily product launch management, product lifestyle management, quality management, um, and then with a focus on, especially right now, a focus on supply chain and those kind of related kind of things too. So that's been one of our big pushes right now, is working on updating our supply chain intelligence and including AI and everything. So there's just a mass amount of work around that kind of stuff, trying to stay up with everybody or get a little bit ahead here and there. And we also have global efforts too. So I support a group out of UK and Spain and Germany.
Wow.
And we also have like India and all that. So, but I tend to focus more on the US marketing and then some of the European stuff, but not nearly as much. And I think they tend to utilize our the parent company's graphic design team. So
Mm.
not to digress too much from Cornelius's presentation, but I'm curious, I'm not looking for a job, but I'm curious how you came into this position. Working for,
yeah,
how did a company like this find you? And how could others do something like you do?
trying to remember if I found them on LinkedIn. I think
Mhm,
I think I applied through LinkedIn. And because of
mhm.
my experience, I got a pretty quick interview with the hiring manager at the time. This was during COVID too. I had just lost my job. And I
Huh,
think I had an interview with this company on the day I was being let go, because I knew it was coming. They told me it was coming. But but yeah, I really just lucked into it. But I think I found it on LinkedIn, applied
cool.
through
Good to know.
LinkedIn. So they're the company's HR headhunters were notified when I applied also. So
And you have
um
an electronic resume that is on LinkedIn, right?
yes,
Cool.
yeah,
Do you have a
I highly
portfolio
recommend
of
it.
your work also?
I do. I have a website that I'm a really bad self-promoter when it comes to this, because my
No,
my
shoemaker's children.
yeah, exactly. My I do have a personal website, and then I try to add 2 or 3 things for each company I work for within LinkedIn. So if someone wanted to glance at it really quick, they could see a couple things within my LinkedIn resume as well. And then if I get laid off, then I spend about a week and a half redoing my website. So hopefully I won't have to do that.
Mm.
Hey, Cornelius, do you want to present?
Yeah, so welcome to our Adobe Users Group. We meet once a month, the second Thursday of every month. I've been part of the group for about, what, I don't know, 15, 20, 25 years, been a long time. I can't remember, but it's after
I'd
some
say
years.
25. We started as the Macromedia Users Group.
Yeah, it's been a while. It doesn't seem like it, but I've done just about everything Adobe. So I've done Flash, Dreamweaver, Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, After Effects. in design. I've taught just about everything. Anyway, I work for the state. I'm an accessibility coordinator for the state. I've been there 13 years and 2 weeks. I got 2 more years left before I
But who's
retire.
counting?
I know, right? Well, I am. I got less than 2 years before I retire, so I'm getting that short time of fever early. But I enjoy teaching. So I've taught a lot. I've taught at a lot of different training companies in the Austin area, Multimedia Enterprise, Lumen Bright, the Art Institute, Consultant Solution, ITT Technical Institute, to name a few. So I've kind of covered a lot of bases on the training front, and I developed some of my own training and things like that. I've just recently put together a website for my wife. She wrote a book, so I put a WordPress website for her and some book trailers using that Create Studio that I mentioned earlier, and this other program called Media Place. I'll just show you a copy of it right here, because it does a little bit of everything. It does the cloning, the image generation, speech generation, and it has templates and all kind of stuff. And it works off of the AI works off of a credit system. So when you create something, it deducts from the number of credits you have. And that's true about I think Photoshop as well. At least that's the plan that they plan on doing, I believe. And the same thing with Create Studio, which is this program here that allows you to do 2D, 3D animation. It does anything video, literally, but easier than Premiere and After Effects. So you can create 3D character. So you can use these tools to supplement whatever video editing or graphics editing that you want. What we're going to be talking about tonight is new features in Adobe Illustrator that I think is really interesting. I don't use Illustrator as much, but when I need it, and so I like to always keep up to speed, at least what's available. So if I come across something, I say, oh, I can do that in the Illustrator. But I don't use Illustrator as much as I used to, and I don't even use Photoshop as much as I used to. Photoshop has some really cool features as well. So let's talk about, I'm gonna review two things we covered last month, I should say, for the sake of the two people that are here today, because they are really cool features in Illustrator. And then we're gonna pick up on 3 additional features tonight. And then I'm gonna be through by 7 o'clock, I promise you, because I got to get outside and cut grass before it get dark. So anyway, so this first feature is called Object on a Path. Back in the old days, 3 years ago, by the way, I'm known for my chauvinism, so those are little memorable quotes that people remember me saying it when I teach. So back in the old days, 3 years ago, you used to take a text and put it on a path in the Illustrator fairly easy. In fact, you could do that a long time ago, but now you can put multiple objects on a path. It could be a circle, it could be a path that you draw with the pen tool. Whatever path you have, you can literally put multiple objects onto it. And you could do a lot more. So let's do that. So for the sake of time, I've already grabbed, if you will, several objects, vector objects that is, from the symbol library. That's this library right here. If you do Windows symbols right here, you can pull up the symbol library and get different types of symbols that you can include in your artwork. I'm sure most of you know that. So I just grabbed some of the, I think this is the insect library, right? Or whatever. But you could grab from this library different types of symbols. Anyway, I just grabbed those, or you can have images, vector, whatever, that you can use. I just happen to do this because it's convenient and easy. So I have these objects and I have this path right here. So the way you do this is fairly easy. You select what you want to affect. That's a golden rule. That's a chauvinism. Only what's selected gets affected by what you do next, right? So we're going to select what we want to affect. And that is, you want to select all your objects and the path that you want to add the objects to. And then there's a new tool, this tool right here where I'm hovering over it, right? And you see the little preview of what's going to happen. You select this tool and you hover over the path itself. You see the little icon with the little box next to it. And then you click on it and let the magic begin. Bam. How cool is that? Is that cool or not? Okay. Back in the old days, this would be a nightmare to do. Okay. But it gets better. Okay. Not only can you put objects on a path, you can move both the object and the path together, like you would any other object in the Illustrator. But you can click on the little icon right here. I mean, the little circle. See right here, it says select and move. If I click on that, look, I can move these things around and I can swap them out. Let's say I want to swap that fly over here. Bam. I want to swap this to that butterfly. Go to the butterfly. Bam. Okay, so you can swap objects on the path easily. Isn't that cool or not? Okay, and then you can move all the objects. So you click on this little icon right here, the little triangle, not the circle, but the triangle, or diamond, I should say. If you click on it, you can rotate the path if you need to. You can also scale the object or the path, just like you can any other object in Illustrator. And you can also come down at the bottom here to rotate all, and you can rotate all of the objects. In this case, I want to rotate it at what we call orientate along the path, right? Because you want it to track the line, if you will. So if I was to try to animate this, it would animate, you wouldn't want to, let me do this. Like you wouldn't want the fly to fly sideways. That would not be coolness, as my son would say, right? The fly be flying sideways. That's not cool. So you want to orientate that fly along the path, and that's what this allows you to do to position it. So now if I were to try to animate this, it animate nicely along the path. So you could do that.
May I
Then,
ask a question? Is
yeah.
it possible to select only some of the symbols and animate them, but not the others, so that say half of them stay in the position they're in and
Well,
alternate
you
ones
can't you
change?
can't animate in Illustrator, not easily
I
anyway.
I
You can
didn't mean, maybe that's not the right term. Rotate it the way you were just doing.
can you just animate? I don't think you can. They said rotate all, so the emphasis is
Yeah,
on
but there isn't a way to select one or two
not
and
that I know
rotate
of. And
them.
that's a good suggestion that you may want to send to Adobe.
I
Because I
got
think
you.
that would be an option. We'll see something similar to that when we want to do the star tool, that you can select one object or one vertex on that object and manipulate. In this case, I think unless I can use the direct select tool, because that's what I'm gonna be doing later on, and I could select a single object, and then I might be able to rotate. No, it doesn't let me rotate it. So yeah, I don't think you can do that currently. Now,
Okay, just asking.
yeah, but that's a good question though. That's a good question, a legitimate question. So not only can you rotate all, you can rotate everything, and you can use this one. This is my favorite right here. You can select this and you can space the objects along the path. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I click on here and go this way, notice they kind of backing up all at once right there, like that. And then I'm gonna go back in the clockwise direction, and I can animate it in the clockwise. It only goes a set angle, right? Because even I go further, that's the further it goes, right? So it's going to equally space them, depending upon the number of objects you have. You can space them this way, and then you can back them up also inside of that. So again, now when I say animate that, what I could do is I could start like this, take a screenshot. I can start like this, maybe take a screenshot and take a series of screenshots and put it all together, make me an animated GIF or something like that. But that's a little bit more advanced beyond the scope of this class. A little bit more advanced. I want that. Was that a little
Could you, if
short
you,
there?
now that you have them occupying half of the circle, could you duplicate them and put another set quickly at the top, the way you might in Photoshop?
Well, if you hold on the Alt key, you could duplicate the whole path, right? And then you probably could probably rotate that up to the top if you wanted to. Let's see, let me.
But then you'd have two paths.
Yeah, if you have two paths. And again, remember what we did last time, we hid the path. So maybe you could hide the path on this one just by what did we do? I think we did trying to recall what we
Should be a
did. I think
test
we just
for those
turn it
of us
off.
who
There we
watched
go.
you do it
Right.
last week.
And then we could
Had
rotate
one.
that up, and you could
Mhm.
change the objects up as well. After you rotate, I didn't rotate it, but if I did rotate it, well, I didn't want that
They'd
rotation.
be on top.
Yeah, I want this right here. I can rotate that like
Oh,
that.
well, that's one way to
Uh,
get a separate half of them.
Yeah, and then you can rotate the whole object like you can do any object, right? Rotate it up like that, and then you could take this one and line it up with that one along the path. You know, you can just kind of play around with it, get it however you want. You know, and I think I may have scaled this one up a little bit, you know, but if it was, it would match the size of this. Maybe I need to scale it down a little bit, but you can see where I'm going with that, right? And
I
again,
sure
you can change
can.
these things wherever you want. What was that, Karen?
I'm just saying, yes, it's very obvious what you're doing, and
Yeah,
you could
so
spend
sometimes you gotta be
hours doing
creative.
this.
If it and
Mhm.
and most of you guys notice, I'm sure that sometimes the feature is not available. You got to employ a technique, what I call in the industry called fake it till you can make it, and I do employ that technique all the time.
Oh, that's a good one.
As a useful technique in this industry, fake it till you can until they make it. Then when you make it, you can stop faking it. Okay. So when they do add this feature, then you can stop faking it. So that's a little show up in there for you to remember. Okay, so I'm gonna delete that one. So anyway, that's the object on a path. So you can move, you can rotate, you can space, you can resize, you can adjust the path, you can do all kind of stuff, resize the path. Hide the path, whatever you want to do, whatever you do in Illustrator, you can do to the path. And those objects will move along that path accordingly. Because last time I used a pen tool, remember? And we had that little roller coaster effect. Remember? We had a little wave, we had it riding on a roller coaster of sort. Okay, so that's the object on a path. New feature, I like it. Again, this would be good if you got, you know, icons that you want to put in a circle without much fuss. Okay. This going to save you a boatload, and that's a technical term, of time doing it. Okay. That's a little chopin in boatload. Time doing it. Okay, so that's object on a path. Let's look at another thing we talked about, and that is text to vector. Text to vector. Now, you know what a vector is, right? Graphics, let me just, for those who may not know, difference between a bitmap and a vector. Bitmap uses pixels to create a shape, an image, if you will. And it is resolution dependent, right? Meaning if you scale it up, it's going to pixelate. That's a bitmap, okay? Vector uses a series of formulas to create an image, right? And it's smaller. That's one advantage of vector. SVG is a classical example these days, but it's resolution independent. That's a key word. If you want to impress somebody, tell them it's resolution independent. You got to say it like that, resolution independent, which means if you scale it up, it doesn't distort, right? You guys know that. So you now, like Photoshop, you know, Photoshop had AI built into it. Now you have AI built into Illustrator. And so all you have to do is just write a prompt and bam, there you have it. I think that's going to probably take away some entry-level positions. It's not going to take away our advanced folks, okay? But entry-level folks, that might, you know, might take away a few entry-level jobs from folks. That's my saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's me talking. Let me just show you how that works. I'm gonna delete that. Now, if you want to determine or set, I should say, the size of the object that you want to create, first of all, you want to start with just drawing a box or a rectangle, right? So let me switch over here. I'm on the rectangle tool. So if I want it to be that big, I draw it that big. If I want to be that big, whatever I want to prompt to take up, let's say I want to be this big. So whatever size I want, draw the box in advance of creating it. And it could be whatever color, because it doesn't matter, because it's going to be replaced by whatever prompt you give it. So once you do that, you get this, what they call context sensitive menu right here. I love this. And then you can just type in what you want. Okay. Now, last week, we typed in a cat playing a guitar. I got a dog on the moon right now. So you can type whatever you want, whatever tickle your fancy. Just type in a little prompt. Okay. We're going to keep it simple for you. Because you could get really descriptive, but for the sake of time, we're going to keep it simple. And then you could also select the settings and do some other fancy footwork with it. Like you can click on this and you can say, you know, the tone, the effects, the style, whether you want a scene, a subject, or an icon. Okay, the scene meaning it's the whole thing, including the background. A subject meaning just the object itself. So a scene would be like this right here. This is a complete scene. A subject would be just a tree, right? So then, and then icon, you know what an icon is, right? Would be just a little smaller version of the subject. So you can select which one. In this case, I'm gonna select the subject, then I'm gonna click generate, and let the magic begin. So you say create a triangle, a rectangle filter to define the size of the, and again, it gives you these little tips on helping you out. And wait for it, wait for it. It's coming. And it's going to create 3 variations of this. And it's over here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me move this on the other screen. So you see these little cute little puppies on the moon. And I said, what, dog on the moon, right? And there you have it, right? So you got these little cute little dogs on the moon. And again, you could, you know, you could regenerate it again if you want some other iterations of it. You know, you can keep on hitting that. It's going to generate more variations, we call it, right? Of that image, that prompt, I should say, not an image because we don't have an image, right? Of that prompt, and you can just select what you want, or you can change the description until you get what you want. Now, again, I don't know if I don't know how Adobe Illustrator works with the credits. You know, you can only do so many of them, then you run out of credits, and then you got to buy more credits, right? I think. At least that's how it works in those other 2 programs that I showed you. So I brought a lot of credit because it was cheap at the time, and they don't expire, right? So I kind of stocked up on like 40,000 credits. So I'm gonna be good for at least 10 years because I plan on doing this a while.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
So that's 100% vector based, what it's generated.
Yeah,
Nothing
it is. It
faster?
is.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So if you click on these, and you could delete stuff that
Then
you
you could
don't.
edit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you
Wow.
can, let me
Love it.
just click. Let me just click right here. See that?
Yeah.
If I want to
Perfect.
delete that, bam.
Yeah. Same.
Delete
Yeah, I've
that.
only done
Bam.
this in Photoshop, so I thought this generation AI imagery was only pixel based. I had no
No,
idea
this is
I could
not.
do it.
You
It's
can do it
amazing.
also in Illustrator.
How?
Yeah, wow,
Awesome.
that's
Isn't that
awesome.
cool?
You know, I had a problem using it in Photoshop because, you know, I was trying to build something for a client. So you can't, even the mid-journey thing, you know, you can't really like art direct the image. So you can get it close to what you need, but then you have to like, you know, modify it, or like you just did there on that one.
Yeah, I think Media Place and some other tools can do a better job. You know, you got Mid-Journey, you got the program I showed to Media Place. Then none of them are perfect, but they're getting better at every iteration of them. It get better because the first iteration, if you recall, when you had a picture of a person, they might have 6 fingers. You know, that was a dead giveaway. That was AI generated, right? But now I see videos of different people, you know, fighting and stuff. And you can't, it's almost hard to tell whether or not it's them or not. And so that's the next iteration is images is fairly easy. When you're creating videos, you know, of
Yeah.
things, that man, I'm telling you, that is, I don't have a program that does that yet. There's a lot of them out there. I'm trying to debate on which one I want, which one I want to get. And hopefully, I think I'm gonna look into it because you know I love doing this. I think Adobe has a program that allows you to take text to video. See, this is text to vector or text to graphics in the case of Photoshop, but you can also do text to video, and I love that. You know, I love video.
Yeah. I saw
So
my
I'm looking
LinkedIn
forward to
feed
that.
this. I saw this guy made like a commercial. It was all generated like
Yeah.
runway stuff, and it was just amazing.
It is. I'm telling you, this stuff is it's intriguing. I think it's intriguing. You know, I know a lot of people, it's scary. You know, I mean, yeah, my Chopin is, and I love technology when it's used for good and when it works, right? And that's a true statement. Um,
Well, right. It's
but
the same as your car. My car is
take
awesome
advantage of it
until I
while you
want stuff.
can. That's all I can say.
What? Say that again.
Take advantage of this technology while you can. Um, and before they start adding where, now you got to pay credit, you got to buy a lot of credits to do this stuff. Because like with the other programs that I have, you got to buy credits in order to generate AI images. I don't know if that's the case right now, but I suspect that it probably will be. Because it takes a lot of processing power to generate things like this. So
Yeah.
anyway, that is text to vector. So let's move on to a new, I say new, improve, I should say new and improve, tool, and that's the start tool. And you probably use the start tool. I mean, you've been around Illustrator any time. I'm sure you've used the start tool. So let's look at the start tool and how it works, what's new about it, or at least what new that you can do with it. Okay, and this is that tool right here, the star tool. Now, back in the old days, again, if you wanted to draw a star, you just kind of pull it out like that, right? And you could scale it up. I'm not having my hand on any control keys, right? But if I hold down the command key, you see what I can do with it? I can make it skinny, bloat it, right? Just by holding down the control key. Yeah. And then if I hold down that was a command key, excuse me, command and control, right? Mac or PC. And then if you hold down the control key, which key I'm looking for? The shift key rather. The shift key will constrain it where it won't rotate. See, if I left go to shift key, I can rotate it, but if I hold on the shift key, it puts it on its feet, as it were. You see how it's on its feet? And we'll talk about that. I'm gonna show you an example that y'all can get a kick out of it in a minute. So it put the star on its feet, okay? If I hold on the shift key. If I let go to shift key, then I can spin it. If I hold on the shift key, it puts the star on its feet, as it were. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in a little minute. I have a little fun with this with my class when I was teaching this at the Art Institute years and years ago. So now, so you could always do that, and you could always, if you draw a star, you can hold on, you could press the up or down arrow to increase the number of vertices, right? So I'm using down arrow. Now I can go the other way. I could use the up arrow and do that. And you could always do that, right? In the old days, by using the arrow keys to determine a number of points that you want to have on that object using the star tool. Now with the new and improve, because it's not new, it's been around a while. It's what they call it, the live star tool, because it's alive. Okay, let's show you what you can do with it. So now you can select, just like what we did with that object on a path. Remember that? Now pay attention to these little dots, if you will. So if I click on this one and drag it, notice it changes the radiuses or the curvature of that angle. You guys see that? On all sides. You guys see that? Let me make it bigger.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, no, I won't do that. Closing. Okay, let me use this one. Okay, so if you click this right here, notice it will change the curvature. Okay, that's one thing you could do. Now, if you
I've never seen anything like that. I like it.
okay, now watch this. When I click on this, notice there's another dot, and I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of somewhat faint, but there's a dashed line. Can you guys see the dashed line in that star? Can you see it? I don't know, maybe you might be able to see it. But if I click this, notice I can do what I did when I was using my arrow keys, right? And you see what I'm doing? I'm just going left and right to get different types of shapes out of this thing. So you could pull on this little handle right here to do that. Then you got this little right here. Now this is like the arrow key. This is actually the arrow key. Remember when I was doing that when I was using the up and down arrow key? That's what that is. But now you can do it interactively, right? Using this right here. And obviously you can scale this thing down however you want. Now, so you can move it, you can scale it down. Hold on the shift key to constrain, remember that. You can change the numbers, right? And then you could click here and click on that right here and do that. And you can click, oh, by the way, you click here and do that. How cool is that? Okay. So you got a lot of, you just look for the points. Okay. No pun intended there. And now going back to what you were saying, Ken, what I was kind of alluding to earlier, normally when you click on this, it's going to, all of them curve, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to curve just one side, what you want to use is what we call the direct select tool, right? That's this one right here. This is the selection tool or the move tool, right? This is the direct select tool. So if I click on that, show you, and if I just click on one of these and then pull it, see now, I can just pull one side. Okay, so you're not limited to all of the sides animating at one time. You can click on one of those little anchors and then just manipulate, if you will, one side of the star. Now, let me delete this and I'm gonna do something now. I have to do this, you guys. This is not part of the training, but I have to do this anyway. Because I love doing this. Okay, so I'm gonna draw this star, right? Like so, like so. And I'm holding on to the option key or the alt key on the Mac, on the PC for your PC folks out there. And you get that little double arrow, that's a dead giveaway. It's gonna duplicate your object, right? And I'm gonna drag a copy of it. So I have 2 stars right there. Now I'm gonna use the direct select tool and notice I'm lassoing, that's the term we use, right? The bottom anchors of both of the stars. You guys tracking me? Now I'm gonna get up in my chair, I'm gonna do a little jig, do a little dance. But while I'm dancing, I'm gonna dance in the chair, okay? I'm gonna do this. Now you have what we call dancing with the stars. I just had to do that. I always have to do that. I did that one night. We just almost died laughing in my class. There you go. You got Dancing with the Stars there. Y'all like that?
That's great. That's great.
That's
I know
dancing
that's
with the
going
stars.
it,
That's
but
very
You can
Cornelius of
multiply
you,
it
Cornelius.
with, you can multiply it and have a night of 1,000 stars.
I would like to do that. I'm telling you that. I think it was like at 11 o'clock at night. I was teaching at ITT Techno Institute, and we just like dying laughing, because I did that. So I always have to do it. Every time I draw a star, I always have to draw 2 of them and dance with the stars. Anyway, I digress. So let's talk about something else that they've introduced, which has been missing for 4 decades. I know some of you guys are probably in diapers, but 4 decades this has been missing from Illustrator, and that is the ability to change the font characteristics. And what I mean by that, in layman terms, is to bold, italicize, and underline. Now you would think that had been around a long time, right? In Illustrator, but that has been missing, at least doing it with keyboard commands. You could do it with, you could do it in the paragraph panel and all that fun stuff. But keyboard combination, the keyboard command, that's been missing for almost 4 decades. Okay, the ability to change. So, and it doesn't work with all of the fonts. Some fonts supports it and others don't. So let's use a common font. We will use let's just type in what we normally do. Oop, obviously we want to make that way bigger. Let's make it way big. Let's do, I don't know, 200. There we go. And I'm gonna type in AAUG, Austin Adobe Users Group. So that's what we're part of. All right. So anyway, I got that. And let me just choose a font that I know that it works with, because it doesn't work with every font. Okay, so this is the normal regular Aria 200 points font, right? And you could go up here and you can go up here and select bold, italics, and underline from there. And you could always do that. But most programs allows you to use keyboard shortcut like Control B for bold, Control I for italicized, Control U for underline, right? Well, you could do that now in Illustrator. So if I do, but it's actually one additional key. It's Shift, Command, or Control, depending upon if you're on a Mac or a PC. And then B for bold. So let me hit B. Well, I got to select what. Let me select it first. Command, Shift, and B. Only what's selected gets affected by what you do next, right? Not gonna happen unless it's selected. Okay, so that's bold. Command or Control, Shift. Got to add the Shift key. Unlike most programs, it's just Command or Control and then B, right? And then if I did Command and Control or Control, Shift, and I, guess what that is? Italicized, right? And if I do Command, Shift, and U for underline, I sound like Dr. Seuss, don't I? You get the underline. Okay, and I don't think you can get underline up here anywhere, right? I don't think that's not in here anywhere. But anyway, it's not a big deal, but for somebody that loves keyboard shortcuts, that's been missing for a while. And now you could do that easily. Okay. Now I saved the best for last, and that is a new tool called a Mockup tool. Okay, there's a new tool called a Mockup tool. So let's see how that works. Okay, so I think I got rid of the, let me do that again. Let me draw a box. And let's just do, I don't know. I'm gonna just keep it with that for the sake of time. I could change the prompt, but just for the sake of time, let's just get that up. And this could be any image, right? But for the sake of time, let's just create what we had earlier. Now notice it generated a different, and that might be good for me. Notice it generated different, even though I use the same prompt, you get different images every time. Okay. So anyway, let's say I wanted to take this and put it on an object, right? So let's say I want to put it on this can or these on one of these cans. So what I could do is, let me move this down so you can see it better. I'm gonna select this label, as it were, right? Because I'm a sticker or whatever you want to call it, and I'm gonna put it on this image. And this is an image, right? It was actually a bitmap. I just did 3 cans on a beach or something like that, and then I rasterize it. Y'all know what that means, right? So I took a vector and converted it to an image for this to work. So this is vector, this is bitmap. I'm gonna select both of them just by lassoing over both of them. And then I am going to I'm gonna right click and select Mockup, create Mockup. Okay, and let the magic begin.
That's great. So it recognizes the can, or it recognizes the shape of the can, doesn't care what it is.
Yeah, that's the most, that I don't know how it does it, but that's just all kind of magic. Let me say it like that. Okay, that's all kind of magic. Okay, so there you go. Now, obviously, it's a bit too big, so you can scale this thing down however you want to fit the object that you wanted. But the thing is that notice when I go to the side, notice I wrap to the side. How cool is that? Is that slicker than slime? Okay. How many of you know slime is slick? Okay.
Because you always tell us.
Now look, when I go to the over back here, look how it clips it into that shape behind it, right? Get over here. Look, if I go down here, look, it lays itself down. How cool is that? That's just that's all kind of coolness. Okay. And look, I go to this can, look, it just wraps itself, then it goes to and then wraps back over here. I don't know how it's doing that, but that's impressive to me. I don't know about you. I'm all excited. You have to forgive me. But I just think that's cool. I'm
That's
sorry.
very cool. And if you wanted to put a label on each can, you just use shift or something.
I hadn't figured that one out yet. I was trying to do that. I guess you could. There you go. I just hold on the option of alt key. Remember that. That's
Yep,
okay,
yep.
right. And now, but you're not. So what you can do is go up here. Watch this. You got all different types of things that you can put it on. So let's say the apparel, right? So if I wanted to put it on this hat, we'll double click it and it's gonna put it in this image. And look, I can move it. Look, move it. Look like it just wraps around this thing. Look.
Wow.
So let's say I want to put it on this. Look at that. Just move it around. Okay. I mean, it just wraps. I don't know how it's doing that, but
So
as
we could offer clients to put their logo on any
Yeah.
clothes of the
Yeah.
photographs in on their website.
Yeah. And watch. Let's do branding graphics. What is that? So let's double click on this. Look at this. This is what I really like. Watch, it just sticks it right in there, almost like it's inside that envelope. Is that cool or not? I'm sorry, but that is just cool.
Hey, I'll get excited with you.
Okay. That is just cool
Find
to me.
Mockup. Just curious where that's buried. Where did you find it?
The mockup.
Yeah.
If you go to
Effects?
window,
Okay.
mockup, you get it
Perfect.
right
Thank
there.
you. Great.
Okay. So that's and then if I move this thing over here, look, it just wraps. I don't know how it's doing that, but it just it's like look like like
I
how you
love
try
that.
to seal something and make like a little seal. It just wrapped around. It's like neatly it's wrapping around there, and then to this piece. So I'm kind of sticking these two together.
Have you
That's-
by chance experimented with putting like your own background image? Like I see that plus sign at the bottom.
Yeah, I was
Under,
trying to do that. I couldn't
so
get
like
that to
if you have
work.
a white
But
box
but
that is
it does say
particular to the
that you can do
client.
that. You see, it
Okay.
does say that add your own template. Yeah, you can do
Oh
that
my
because I was
gosh.
trying to do that, but you can. You see right at your mock-up, so you
I
click
was
it, mock-up.
physically using the 3D Distort tools for this client for over a year on their packaging. Oh my gosh, but I don't think this existed then.
Yeah, no, this been out
Amazing.
this been out a year though. This been out
Yeah,
about a year. So this is graphics, then digital devices. Like, okay,
nice.
let's do the watch. Watch how easy this is. Did I double click on it? I thought I did. Locking me up. This. Oh, do that. I don't know what happened to that one. Oh, not sure what's going on.
Maybe did your object get deselected?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like it's
thinking.
waiting for.
Blue.
Oh, let me delete this. Let me delete these. Maybe I got too much going on. Let me try this again. Yeah, it lost the object because the object would appear. Select a vector.
Is that symbol that we see a placeholder, just like the default placeholder that it?
Yeah, well, let me see. Because I did this before the class, and I was able to put it on these packaging, digital packaging, and for some reason, look, it's
Well,
locked
maybe
up.
because
Believe
we
me.
now have 3. Why don't you delete 2 of the labels on the cans and see if
Yeah.
it'll cooperate?
Oh, I went too far down. Let me do this. Get back to that. Okay, let's see. That goes right. Okay. And actually, let me get out of this and get back in. Maybe it lost its way. And so now let me do window mockup again. Now I'm at right here. And it's still not showing it. Well, oh, maybe I did lose it. Let me try. Let me see. I don't think. No, because it's still wrapping. So it's part of the image. Anyway, there must be some issue. But bottom line is you can wrap this thing. It really impresses me around any kind of shape. And I don't know how I'm assuming it looks at the edges and knows that, hey, this is an edge. So, no.
It's funny that it doesn't carry the light streak on the cans have a light.
Oh, what you could do with that is, and I looked at this on a YouTube video, you do a blend mode. So,
Oh, really?
when you go there, you select what you want to affect, right? And then you do a blend mode. I don't know how to do that in Illustrator. Where's the blend mode in Illustrator? That's opacity. Let
Yeah,
me
I
see.
think if you click where it says opacity, it gives you more options. So click right on the word opacity
Okay.
and then see where it says normal.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
looking for.
it's
Yeah,
like
thank you.
hidden.
Yeah, and again, I don't usually do blend mode in Illustrator, but now if I do multiply, right, and it's going to blend in with the background of that object like that, and now you said it kind of again you can kind of play around with the different modes. Um, so maybe I don't know. Uh, just keep playing around with the different modes and see which one works for you. Depending upon the object too, and the color in the object, that all dictates what kind of blend mode that you can use to make it look the way you want to. So anyway, play with that, but that's the way to. I saw an example where someone used multiply to make it kind of blend, make it look like it is actually on the can and not just sitting on top of the can, right? So anyway, that is all I have for tonight.
Well,
And
that's great.
the next time we meet, I got about 4 other items that I have yet to cover. But those should excite you.
Okay.
Excites me anyway. Uh,
It's a very exciting and meeting.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I want to,
Cornelia, we normally skip August, so our next one would be September 11th.
and who's willing to do that one? If not, I could fill in with the rest of this. Maybe there's a new version come out by then.
I could do one too. Or is there, Teresa, is there something video editing wise that you'd like to go over or see or review?
Honestly, I was going to ask you guys if you have any interest in talking babies. Have you guys seen those videos online? I just did that project.
I have seen those videos, in
Yeah.
fact.
She said, I want me and my twin on the bus talking, so you had to get their video file. And this is what I did that's embarrassing, John, is I edited it in Canva. So I did all the fancy Hydra voiceover tools, but I needed something to do all my cuts. And because I'm terrible with editing, I don't, I could do After Effects, but the proper one to use is Premiere, right?
Well, first off, before I say anything, I don't know what a talking babies thing is.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah. What
You
is?
haven't seen like these adorable babies online, and then they put
Oh
the
yeah.
voiceover of this adult
Oh,
talking
okay.
about
Oh, yeah.
very adult things. Or there's one of
Right.
Oh, I've seen
baby.
them. I've seen like a conversation, I think, like with Joe Rogan, but it was two
Yeah,
babies.
yeah. But
Okay.
there's one that's like a baby and a dog, and it's just hilarious. But
Yeah, I've seen them with like Trump and Putin
yeah.
and
So Hydra is like $10 a month, and I helped this client in a couple days. We figured out how to get them, like we use the AI generation to take photos of them, make them look like babies, then get Hydra to do the talking heads.
is that the program that does the babies? The Hydra?
There's a lot out there. That one was what we ended up landing on, $10 a month. Like you can't beat that to play
Yeah,
around.
right.
Now you get a certain number of credits. So I was
Right.
being very careful about how many iterations I was doing. But anyway, if you guys ever have interest in that, that's like the one cool thing I've done recently.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, video editing, I'm embarrassed that I don't know better. So Premiere, right? That's what people usually use professionally.
Um, right. It's a very strong tool. It's I use it a lot, so I'm familiar with the bugs as much as anything as well. But
You can also edit video in Photoshop these days.
Really? Oh, see, yeah, I had no idea.
yeah, you can pull a video clip into Photoshop and you'll get like a frame for every frame.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you're limited what you can do in Photoshop. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
but you want to. There's other tools that you can use too that are free. The
But for
DaVinci, I believe.
beginners, It's easier than Premiere.
Right. Like for me, Canva was so dumbed down, simple. Like I just had an intro clip, I could do my transitions, and then I just pulled in my shots. So, but I guess my wish list would be like a dumbed down version of Premiere.
Yeah.
Well,
Learn that.
check out Create Studio. Um,
Oh, but I don't want to pay for any more software.
oh, okay. Well,
Adobe is so
Yeah.
expensive,
yeah. Well, this one
but
is
it's
like
good.
$67, and you could do quite a bit with it.
Okay.
Just look
Well,
at
we
it.
could do I mean, and we can do like a video editing meeting, and a lot of to me,
Cameron,
Premiere is just a
you want to stop the
tool.
recording?
The
Cameron.
the techniques, like when I teach it, that's what I teach. I teach video editing, and part of it is the just the concept of the work through around it, which that sort of works on no matter what.